Lord be in your heart, and I lift his worthy proclaim this most holy gospel, the Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Rise up in splendor, Jerusalem, your light has come. The glory of the Lord shines upon you.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
My friends, the Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
Reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
When Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of King Herod, behold, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, "Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw his star at its rising and have come to do him homage." When King Herod heard this, he was greatly troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Assembling all the chief priests and the scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. They said to him, "In Bethlehem of Judea. For thus it has been written through the prophet, 'And you, Bethlehem, land of Judea, are by no means least among the rulers of Judea, since from you shall come a ruler, who is to shepherd my people of Israel.'" Then Herod called the Magi secretly and ascertained from them the time of the star's appearance. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search diligently for the child. When you have found him, bring me word, that I too may go and do homage." After their audience with the king, they set out. And behold, the star that had been seen at its rising preceded them, until it came and stopped over the place where the child was. They were overjoyed at seeing the star, and on entering the house they saw the child with Mary, his mother. They prostrated themselves and did him homage. Then they opened their treasure and offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed for their country by another way. The Gospel of the Lord.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Every New Year's Eve, as the hours of the year winding down, I always get a bit nostalgic, where either I'm looking back on the year in a bittersweet way, thinking I'm really going to miss it, or I'm shaking my head thinking, thank God that's over. Either way, I'm always looking ahead then at the new year with some apprehension, wondering, well, what am I going to have to face this year? And even at the same time, with lots of hope. There's always better days ahead. Then less than 7 days into it, 4 adults kidnap a young man in Chicago, disabled man, hold him for 2 days, make him drink toilet water, and practically torture him about being white and about President-elect Trump, only to post it live on social media for millions of people to see and hear, which they did. Thus the apprehension. Then a 26-year-old American-born veteran, a father, takes a gun out of his baggage, the baggage claim at Fort Lauderdale Airport, and starts shooting, killing 5 people, injuring 6 or 7 others, 12, 13 people shot. And this is only during the first week of the new year. And this is done by people between the ages of 18 and 26. I'm not going to talk anymore about these two incidents or the details of them because it's just too disturbing and I'll just get angry. And the news of it is just depressing enough as it is. But we've got to talk amongst each other about the growing dismissal of the value of human life and how the social media is becoming a curse. We've got to talk to each other about the why and the how this seems to be happening more and more in younger generations. We've got to stop blaming mommy and daddy and nobody talked to me as a child as excuses for such horridly evil and sad behavior. One commentator on CNN actually said on national TV that what those 4 adults did to that disabled man in Chicago wasn't evil, just a result of bad upbringing. No, moron, what they did was evil. And stop excusing evil, horrid behavior. People of faith, hope, and love, people who are baptized and committed in the gospel of Jesus Christ, we have got to do a better job at influencing the environment around us. We have got to stop being afraid to do so. Stop being afraid to offend someone and start standing up for the gospel. Evil exists in the world around us simply because we allow it. So let's each and every one of us take an honest responsibility for what we have not done in our lives to proclaim the gospel and change that for 2017. Hope need not be shot to Gehenna in the first week of the year. Hope can be alive. Hope can be very real, but not until people of Christian faith stand up and become the gospel. Stand up and let it change our lives. Hope can and does conquer evil. Each year, the Feast of the Epiphany just fascinates me. I know we all look at this beautiful manger scene all of our lives, and our hearts are just warmed by the beauty of it. But this, as it appears, probably didn't actually happen this way. And that's okay. The artists throughout centuries have just put everything into a simple, singular scene to help us celebrate all the great glory of the birth of the Christ. But the text of Matthew's gospel is fascinating. He never calls them kings, nor does he say that there were 3 of them. He calls them magi. The king theory came out of the idea, the fact that they brought 3 expensive gifts. Magi is a word that describes members of the Persian priestly class who possessed great knowledge. In this case, they were astrologers. But these magi discovered in this star the need to follow it, find it, go after its truth. For that star ignited in them a desire to go and worship, not just lay eyes upon or find out about, but go and worship this newborn king. They don't go directly to Bethlehem. Matthew tells us they go to the city of kings, Jerusalem. They go there first and they start to inquire. They have to learn more, for their desire to worship this king is so strong. Now, as Matthew says, that star took them to the place where the child was, not the stable where the baby was in the manger. He says, on entering the house, they find the child. No mention of a stable or a baby. And in the passage immediately following this, we hear how the threatened Herod orders the massacre of all boys 2 years old and younger. All of this shows that Jesus was probably around 2 years old when the Magi finally arrived. Well, what fascinates me year after year is this truth that these astrologers with their obvious scientific minds, make a 2-year journey into the unknown in order to worship a newborn king. That makes absolutely no scientific sense for these men of science. But it speaks powerful volumes of the truth of their magnificent faith. A 2-year journey of worship into the unknown. And they did just that. Matthew says, they prostrated themselves and did him homage. They saw the Christ child. They laid their bodies face down with arms extended, a gesture done when one is in the presence of God, a sign that one now gives one's life completely to God. This done by people of science. This done even more so by people of complete and total trust and faith. This Feast of the Epiphany, my friends, is a powerful challenge to us all of these years later. 14 days ago, we celebrated Christmas, then New Year's a week ago. Probably going to take our trees and decorations down this weekend, put the gifts away, start planning for Easter, summer vacations, and we still have to pay for the gifts as well. But is that it? That's it? What next? Starting tomorrow, what next? We are being challenged today, my friends, to deepen our faith in the power of this Jesus into this year of the unknown. In the first week, we have already been hit with the horrible evil done to innocents. What are we going to do, each and every one of us personally, to bring hope to the world around us? What life-altering commitment or journey are we willing to make to pay homage to the Son of God who gave his life up for us? My friends, let the truth of the power of the faith of the Magi empower us to do the very same. Conquer the unknown future and all of its fears. Celebrate our faith by confirming it simply in the way we lead our lives, using it to fight against evil and wrongness and influence others to become holy and hopeful. And then go out and search for others to join us on this journey. We do that honestly, and the kingdom of God will be ours. I wish you God's peace.